Eating minimal calories like 1200 per day and not losing weight might just be the most confusing and frustrating part of your journey. You're doing everything right, you've cut back, you're being good, and the scales are just stuck. Is it my hormones? Is it my metabolism? Am I going to be overweight forever? Am I just broken? Those are probably thoughts running through your head. Maybe you've even heard the phrase starvation mode and thought that your body is working against you just to hold on to your fat. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down and explain what's really going on here. But let me be clear up front. This video isn't to tell you that 1200 calories is never going to be suitable to lose weight. There are some people who will need to eat 1200 calories. They will be women who likely have sedentary lifestyles, who are around 58 kilos or less, about 125 pounds, who are short. They don't need to eat more than 1200 calories in a fat loss phase. So the 1200 calorie target might be quite suitable for them. However, the women that I work with, my avatar, my niche, if you will, they all have 30 plus pounds to lose in general. So just to make it clear, it is those women that I'm talking to. So let's talk about why you drop your calories low, you put in all the hard work and nothing seems to happen. Let's first talk about what doesn't happen. And the first thing is that you don't go into starvation mode and magically start holding on to fat despite eating less. If you're in a calorie deficit, you are consuming fewer calories than you're expending, you will lose fat. So if you're not losing weight, the question therefore becomes, are you actually in a calorie deficit? Are you really eating 1200 calories? And this is where it gets interesting. I'm not here to shame you, I'm just here to present the data. But more often than not, self-reported data is very inaccurate. Now, if you're from the UK, you may recognise the TV show Secret Eaters. It's quite archaic, a little bit condescending, and effectively it debunks why overweight people are overweight despite thinking that they're doing nothing wrong.
I must be one of those people who has a slow metabolism. I tried every diet under the sun over the years, nothing seems to have worked.
Also going to spy on Debbie. She's agreed to drink this special water, known as doubly labelled water. It's ingenious as it contains special isotope markers. By analysing her urine every day, scientists can work out not only how many calories Debbie burns, but remarkably how many calories she has actually eaten.
When you did your diary on the video for us, about 1,100 calories. That's how many you've recorded that you've eaten.
Debbie, in fact, ate 3,000 calories a day.
I underreported. Wow, that's quite shocking.
Now, here we have a woman who thought that her metabolism was broken and she was so baffled as to why she couldn't lose weight. She reported that she was eating 1,100 calories per day, but the real data was 3,000 calories plus per day. And whilst this is an extreme example, it does highlight a simple point. Sometimes we can underestimate just how much we're eating and overestimate just how much exercise we're doing. And this is also supported by the following studies on the screen. But there are more reasons why you may think that you're having 1,200 calories or around that number, but it's actually adding up to be a lot more. Firstly, we've got the weekend trap. You might be sticking to your really low calories from Monday through to Thursday or Friday. But the second the weekend comes, you genuinely just feel deprived. Your cravings hit, you lose a bit of control, you may eat out more than normal, and it's hard to get a grasp on just how much you're eating. And even if it's not a full-on binge, your energy intake being higher on these days will skew your deficit for the whole week. Say you do eat 1,200 calories from Monday through to Thursday, and then bump it up to around 2,500 Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That massively increases your weekly average, which is enough to put you at maintenance or sometimes even in a surplus. And no, this isn't just about you being bad at the weekends, it's probably your psychology and your biology working against you. Think about it, when you go super low during the week, you are just going to get to the weekend feeling knackered, hungry and wanting to let loose. You get more hungry, more food focused, and eventually you eat, and probably a lot. It's not a lack of discipline, it's really just a natural response to restriction. And even if it's not an obvious cheat meal moment, it could just be the little things adding up. That biscuit with tea, that extra glass of wine with dinner, the handful of crisps when you're making lunch. The next category we've got is secret eating. This is so difficult. It takes honesty with yourself to lose weight. The woman who I showed previously on Secret Eaters, she was shocked. She genuinely did not realise just how much she was eating. And that's the scary part when you believe you're doing everything right, but something is going wrong. And this is where accuracy matters. For example, if you're choosing to track calories, you may have a ham and cheese sandwich for lunch. So you might type into your calorie tracking app, ham and cheese sandwich, and it feels harmless. But the data from that versus the data from the bread you used, how much butter you had, how many grams of cheese you had, the type of ham you had, whether there was any mayonnaise in there, salad on the side, it really does make a difference. Or even the difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon of olive oil. That's an easy 100 calories. And then there's the snacking, the bite of your kid's dinner, the licks, sips, drinks, and nibbles that aren't being logged too. It doesn't feel like eating, so we don't really track it, but just because you're not tracking the calories, it doesn't mean that the calories aren't counting. And FYI, this level of tracking isn't for everyone. Not all of my clients do decide to track calories, but I'm a firm believer that if you are going to do something, you have to do it right. And even just 2 weeks where you are completely transparent with yourself over what is going into the app and what is going into your mouth is enough to move the needle for almost everyone. But now let's say that you are doing everything right. You're accurate, you're consistent, you're hitting your numbers. Then the sad reality is you may just need to be a bit more patient. Just 1 week isn't enough. You didn't gain the weight overnight, and you can't expect to undo years worth of a poor relationship with food and a sedentary lifestyle in just a couple weeks. You need 3 to 4 weeks of 80 to 90% consistency, and I mean real consistency, before you throw your hands up in the air and say that this isn't working for me and alter your calories. So that's about 27 to 28 days out of 31. Not just on track Monday to Friday and then hoping for the best over the weekend. I mean real, honest discipline and consistency. Hard work. And if you're nodding along right now thinking, yep, you've got me, Phoebe, here's what I suggest you do. So if you have been stuck at 1200 calories and you've not been losing weight, and you aren't one of the women that I mentioned earlier who is already smaller, then the problem isn't you, it's the plan that you've chosen. Instead of aiming for the lowest possible number that you can stick to for a couple days here and there or a week or two on and off, ask yourself, what is the highest number of calories that I can actually adhere to for good while still losing weight? Because if you can stick to 1600, 1800, 2000 calories and do it consistently, then that is so much better than doing 1200 for a short period of time. Ironically, by embracing the slower and steadier approach, you will lose weight at a much quicker rate because you won't be on and off your diet all the damn time. You need to stop chasing the extremes and start being realistic with yourself. And if that's the sort of thing you need, then I've gotten quite good at doing that for my clients. Head to fatlossfundamentals.co.uk and let's see what I can do to help you.